The nucleus. By the end of this lesson, you should be able to describe the composition of the nucleus of an atom in terms of protons and neutrons. Define proton number Z and nucleon number A. The solar system is made up of matter. What is matter made up of? Matters are made up of tiny particles known as atoms. The name atom comes from the Greek word atomos, which means indivisible. What is the structure of an atom? For centuries, scientists carried out researches to find out about the structure of an atom. In 1897, J. Thomson proposed the plum pudding model, which suggested that the atom is a solid sphere of positive charge with electrons distributed uniformly over it. In 1911, Ernest Rutherford's theory suggested that the atom is made up of the nucleus, which contains positively charged particles called protons. The electrons, which are negatively charged, orbit the nucleus. In 1932, James Chadwick, in his atomic theory, stated that all nuclei contain neutrons and protons. Chadwick also suggested that the electrons orbit around the nucleus. Which theory is used for the present-day atomic structure? How do the atoms in different atom theories differ from one another? The present-day model of the atom is based on models developed earlier. Among the earlier models are developed by Thomson, Rutherford, and Chadwick. The model of the atom being used today suggested that atoms are made up of subatomic particles. What are the subatomic particles? Atoms are made up of three types of subatomic particles, namely electrons, protons, and neutrons. Electrons are very tiny particles that orbit around the nucleus. Nucleus is the center of an atom. Most of the mass of an atom is located at the nucleus. The particles in a nucleus are called nucleons. There are two types of nucleons, that is, protons and neutrons. These subatomic particles have different properties. Can you name some of their properties? Click the symbols of the subatomic particles to find out about their properties. Protons are part of the nucleus. Protons are positively charged. It carries positive 1.6 times 10 to the power of negative 19 coulombs of charges. A proton has a relative mass of 1, which is the same as the mass of a hydrogen atom. Neutrons are also part of the nucleus. Neutrons do not carry any charge, therefore they are neutral. A neutron has approximately the same mass as a proton. Electrons orbit around the nucleus. The electron is negatively charged. It carries negative 1.6 times 10 to the power of negative 19 coulombs of charges. Since it has a relative mass of 1 over 1,840 of the mass of a proton, therefore the mass of an electron is negligible. Atoms are identified by the number of protons they possess. What term is used for the number of protons in a nucleus? The number of protons in a nucleus is known as the proton number Z. Determine the number of protons in a helium atom. Click the protons to see the answer. The number of protons is 2. Therefore, the proton number for the helium atom is 2. Determine the number of electrons in a helium atom. Click electrons to see the answer. The number of electrons is 2. Determine the number of neutrons in a helium atom. Click on the neutrons to check your answer. The number of neutrons is 2. What term is used for the total number of protons and neutrons in a nucleus? The total number of protons and neutrons in a nucleus is known as the nucleon number, A. The nucleon number A is also known as the mass number. Determine the nucleon number for the helium atom. Key in your answer in the table. Click on the check button to check your answer. Determine the proton number Z, the number of electrons, the number of neutrons, and the nucleon number A for the elements. Key in your answer in the table. Mouse over the nucleus to zoom in. Click on the check button to check your answers. Click on the next button to see the next element. In an atom, the number of protons, which are positively charged, is the same as the number of electrons, which are negatively charged. This explains why an atom is always neutral. This activity is to determine the name of the element based on the proton number Z, number of neutrons, and nucleon number A. Click on any value under Number of Neutrons in the table. Key in the number of protons into the table. Then click on the check button for the name of the element. Fill in the number of protons, electrons, neutrons, or nucleon numbers in appropriate boxes. Click on the check button to check your answer when each row is completed.